You're a trans man who's spending hours a week in the gym, but nobody would know to look at you. Here's exactly what I would do. I'm Sam and I'm an online coach working exclusively with trans men who were fed up of paying for gym plans that still left them hiding their top surgery results under baggy t-shirts, so they came to me. Now, the first 8 steps to achieving the masculine physique that you're trying to are actually linked down below in the description, completely for free. It's called the In Shape Trans Guy Guide, and it's full of steps that you can take action on straight away. My favourite arm exercises, how to train chest, what you can and can't do for your hips, and plenty more. But today I'm taking you through Transform. Transform is what I called my 6-month photo shoot training plan back from 2024 when I last prepped. I used it for 6 months straight, lost 10 kilos and got into the best shape of my life. Now, alongside of watching this video, you can download Transform completely for free. But if you stick around until the end, I'll walk you through how I'm actually going to be taking 20 of you guys and coaching you through this exact plan starting in September. Here's the framework. Let's start with day 1, first workout of the week, push and abs. Everyone's favorite day is probably chest day. I feel like that's just a guy thing. That's not even really a trans thing, is it? It's just a guy thing. Although I will say, push is probably not my favorite. I think it's probably pull. However, chest, shoulders, triceps, and a bit of abs. 3, 1, 2, 1. 3 different presses, 1 different lateral raise. Not 1 different lateral raise. 1 lateral raise. 2 tricep exercises, and then 1 ab exercise. So 3, 1, 2, 1. That's the framework for this push day. When it comes to the presses, the specific ones that I used was a machine chest press, a low incline dumbbell chest press, and a high incline Smith machine chest press. You can go with whatever presses you want to. However, I personally wouldn't be keen to throw in lots of overhead shoulder pressing, because I think if we're trying to maximize our time in the gym when it comes to pressing, it's more important that we do chest stuff than shoulder stuff. Hear me out. If we divide up the shoulder or the delts into the 3 different heads, we've got front, side, back. Back head we're going to hit with our pull day, so we'll walk through that in a bit. The lateral head is something that we're not really going to hit tons with any pressing. We'll hit it a little bit, but not much at all. So we're going to need some direct work for that, hence having an entire exercise on our push day dedicated to that. But when it comes to that front head, the thing that people are really trying to hit with that shoulder press stuff, that gets absolutely hammered when it comes to chest presses. So you might as well just do the chest presses. And again, I'm not saying never. I have some clients who have shoulder pressing in there, but I personally haven't shoulder pressed in a very long time, and shoulders are actually one of my stronger areas. Now, you could say that's genetics and whatever, but I still don't think that you need tons of shoulder pressing. Personally, I'll be filling this up with different angles of chest presses. So I mentioned that I was doing a low incline dumbbell chest press and then a high incline Smith press. Obviously, the varying angles are going to start to bias more fibers of chest over others. So upper, mid, lower. It's all going to get hit, but in varying quantities depending on what angles of the bench you have. So I'll be mixing up those bench angles personally. Now, let's talk about lateral raises, because that's the next exercise that we're going to be looking at. And for me, this is all about bang for our buck. You could do a standing dumbbell lateral raise, which is a pretty popular lateral raise variation. But the problem is you don't challenge the delt throughout the entire range of motion. So that's not to say that that's a bad thing or a good thing. It's just a fact. So if you were to do a dumbbell lateral raise, a standing dumbbell lateral raise, for the 1 lateral raise variation on this push day, when we come back round and do another lateral raise variation on the upper day that I'll walk you through in a bit, you might want to change it up and do a cable lateral raise instead, where that bottom portion of the range of motion is going to have a challenge to that delt where it wouldn't with the dumbbell lateral raise. Or we can just make this super simple and, like I've done, just do a cable lateral raise for both days. Triceps. Now, this doesn't need to be massively complicated, but I do like to vary my shoulder position for this, just so that some exercises I'm getting a bit more long head, some exercises I'm getting a little bit more lateral and medial heads of the tricep. So for example, you could do a cable push down where your elbows are down by your sides, And then in the second exercise, you could do something where you go up into a little bit more shoulder flexion, and we do something like an overhead rope extension. And then finally, our ab exercise. Please stop effing around with circuits, mountain climbers, planks, all this fast crap. The abs are muscles like any other. Biceps, triceps, chest. You're not doing lightweight circuits for those, so don't do it for your abs. If we're looking at that six-pack muscle, the rectus abdominis, the main motion that we're going to be looking to train is spinal flexion, which is a fancy way of saying a crunch. So as a beginner, we could start with a bodyweight crunch, and then we might add in a little bit of external weight. We might do a hanging knee tuck. We might go on to a machine crunch. Crunches are going to be our ab work for this plan. Into pull, this is the best day of the week. I do not care what you say. Pull is superior to chest in every way. It's so much more fun. We're actually going to start off with a hinge. Oh my god, Sam, you can't do a hinge on a pull day. That has to go on legs. Says who? We're going to do one hinge on a pull day, and then we're going to do another hinge on a leg day. I know, crazy. So for myself, this was a barbell RDL. If you are brand new to the gym, would I be throwing you into a barbell RDL? Probably not. I'm not saying definitely not, but it's unlikely. Here is what I would do if you are brand new to the gym. I would actually skip the hinge in the pull workout, and we're going to replace it with another back exercise. So a lat pull down, a row, we'll come on to that in a second. And you're still going to do the hinge when we get to the leg day. So stick around for that bit and I'll walk you through there. Everything else in the pull day is 2, 2, 2. So we've got 2 exercises where we're looking to get more of a lat biased back exercise. 2 exercises where we're doing a bit more upper back biased work, and then 2 exercises for the biceps. So for myself, the 2 lat exercises were a neutral grip lat pull down and then more of a neutral grip row. The upper back based stuff was a palms down grip lat pull down, and then also a reverse rear delt fly. There's definitely going to be people that are going to moan and say that's not upper back. I mean, it makes up a part of your upper back, so they're going in there. And then 2 bicep exercises. So I used a machine preacher curl and a face away cable curl. This is a nice combination of exercises because, again, a bit like the triceps, we've got differing shoulder positions, and what that means for the biceps is we're training them through different lengths. So with the machine preacher curl, where I'm more up here, got more of a shortened length in the bicep that we're training, and then in those face away cable curls, we're in more of a lengthened position to be training the biceps in. And ultimately that's just digging into the slightly more technical side of things, which we don't really need to worry about too much. You can either follow along with what I've just said, or you can just pick out your 2 favorite bicep exercises. Legs, worst day of the week. I do not like training legs. It's not fun. My client Jude loves training legs, and if he's watching this, he's wrong. Nice and simple, we're going to start out with a hamstring curl and a leg extension. When it comes to a hamstring curl, if you are a beginner and you have a choice between a standing hamstring curl, a seated hamstring curl, and a lying hamstring curl, first of all, you've got a pretty rock solid gym there, so well done for picking out a good one as a beginner. I personally would be going for the seated hamstring curl. You're nice and locked into a set position. With the lying hamstring curl, yes, there are some pros to that, but your ability to control that exercise is not going to be as good as a seated one. So if you're a beginner, I'm going to be going for the seated. If you're not a beginner, then over the coming months, it might be nice to change between a lying and a seated for the different benefits that you get on both of those. And when it comes to a leg extension, just accept that it's going to burn like hell, and I hate it, and you probably will as well. Okay, we're now into hinges and squats. So I mentioned earlier on that there is also a hinge in the leg day. For me, this was a 45-degree hip extension. If you're a beginner, I think that that's a pretty solid shout to somewhere to start without knowing the exact context behind you and what you're trying to achieve. So 45-degree hip extension is nice, doing that just body weight. I then got to the point where I added in a barbell for some extra challenge, but on this one you could also do something like an RDL or a deadlift. Split squats are absolute hell. Again, there can't be... Do you reckon there are actually people out there who like split squats? Because I actually think that that's someone who should get some kind of help. Again, as a beginner, something that locks you into a bit more of a fixed path, especially if you're not training with someone, a PT or a coach, is probably going to be better. So your leg presses, and then as you get a bit more confident and you want to start to explore different things, we could look at Smith squats and split squats and all that kind of stuff. And then the last workout of the week, we are back around to upper, and we're also again going to be tagging on some abs. Starting off with laterals. Now, if you chose to do a dumbbell lateral raise, a standing dumbbell lateral raise in the first workout when we did push, I probably wouldn't opt to do that again, because if we're trying to get bang for our buck and we want to challenge that delt through the full range of motion, either doing a side-lying dumbbell lateral raise might be a good option, or just moving yourself over onto the cables. If you did a cable lateral raise in the first workout, just do it again in the second, honestly. Whatever you picked for the first one is going to be great for the second one. Our layout after that is going to be 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. So we've got one more back exercise, 2 more chest exercises, 1 biceps, 1 triceps, and 1 abs. Again, that's not the number of sets, that's the number of exercises. So you're going to pick out a back exercise. I haven't specified here whether you should do lats or upper back. Decision is yours. I personally put a lot more emphasis with this plan on lat-based stuff. So I believe for the upper day I was doing a neutral grip row, and we then go into 2 chest exercises. And for this I did a machine chest press and then a pec deck. Biceps, triceps, pick out whichever exercises you want to throw in there, or of course if you want to follow the exact ones that I did, then you can download Transform for free down below and copy along with that. It also has some form videos in there, so if you weren't sure what things are, you can download them. And then lastly, finished up with some more ab work. Again, we're not going into any circuits, we're not doing a legs, bums and tums class. We're going to do some controlled, heavy, weighted crunches of some kind, whether that's just body weight, because body weight weighs something, or adding in an external weight to a crunch or a machine crunch. Choice is yours. That is the entire framework for the 4-day split that I ran in 2024 for 6 months to get into photo shoot shape. You can run that plan for as long as you want to. 6 months, a year, as long as you're making progress on it, you can run it for as long as you want to. And even after the 6 months, once I moved into more of a bulking phase, I didn't actually make that many changes to that plan. And even now, the plan that I'm following, I'm currently in another photo shoot prep. The plan isn't hugely different in terms of the framework from what I was doing back then. Because in order to see results, cliche, but it's more about consistency than fancy party tricks and magical exercises. The other really important thing that people definitely don't do enough is logbook. You shouldn't be just turning up to the gym, picking random weights, trying to remember what you did the week before. You need to be making sure that you're logbooking all of your lifts so that you can progressively overload. And even if that's not progressively overloading by sets, reps, or weight, you want to be filming your sets so that you can look at your form and improving at that. Because even just by improving your form, you're improving the stimulus, and an improved stimulus is going to help you to grow. So that is exactly how I would train if I was a trans guy, which I am, who was training for hours and hours in the gym and was feeling like I just wasn't really making any progress. Maybe I've downloaded a free plan that's got me training 6 days a week and I just don't really feel like it's doing anything. Maybe I've downloaded an app and I'm following that and it's got me doing 3 full body days and it just feels all over the place. This is a great structure to follow. Push and abs, pull, lower, upper and abs. If you want to download Transform for free, you can do down below, and that will give you all of the exercises that I did. Or if you just want to take the framework that I've given you and put in your own exercises, you can also do that. When it comes to the sets, this is obviously going to be completely personal, and I do give the exact sets and reps that I did in that free Transform plan, but again, it's going to need to vary person to person. Now, you can start with what I've given away for free as a starting point, but at some point you're going to want it to be slightly more bespoke. And this is where Transform Plus comes in, because in September I am going to be taking 20 of you and coaching you through this exact plan. This is your opportunity to stop admiring client results like these and actually get one for yourself. And if that wasn't enough, the best transformation at the end of the 8 weeks as picked by me is going to get a full refund. The 20 spaces go on sale on Friday, August 28th at 8 a.m. BST, only to those on the priority list. If you're on the priority list, you'll get early access and you'll also get the early bird price. 48 hours later, if there are any spaces left, they'll go on general sale, but the price will go up. So if you are serious about joining and you want to take one of the 20 spaces, I'm going to put all of the links down below in the description and also pin them to this video so you can join the priority list and you can also read the full details. I'm honestly so excited to get started, and I'm giving you bags of time to get involved and get on the priority list if you're watching this video when it first comes out. If you don't take me up on this opportunity, that's fine, that's your choice, but I promise you there will be 20 other people out there who will happily take your place. And this will not be happening again in 2026. You've got one chance. Okay, it's time for me to go and have my snack of strawberries and cottage cheese because I'm on prep and that's my current snack. All right, I'll see you all in the next one.